Okay, so today we're going to learn about weather and climate. So we're going to start here on the weather side because we know more about weather. We see it all the time. Weather is when you look outside and you see, is it sunny, cloudy, you go outside, what kind of clothes are you wearing? Are you wearing short sleeve? Are you wearing long sleeve? What do we think? So that's the weather. So it's the short-term state of the atmosphere. So to figure out weather, we normally have a weather forecast. So you can see on the weather app or typically in the newspaper if you still use those, there's normally a weather forecast. Who figures that weather forecast out? A meteorologist. A meteorologist studies weather, climate, forecasts, and how the forces of the earth is changing the weather. So they really do have tools and instruments that they go out and they use and they figure out what the weather's going to be for the next week. So even if they mess up a few times, it's pretty much ballpark area and it's better than nothing. So we really appreciate our meteorologists and our weather forecasts. So it can change within minutes or hours. And I think that's crazy. But if you live in Indiana, it's pretty typical that sometimes it's snowing and sometimes it's sunny the next day. So it's kind of funny to see how fast weather can change and how drastic it can change. But that is weather. Now moving over to the climate side. Climate is seen as a long-term pattern of weather. So when we are going on spring break, because that was just about the time, we typically pick a place that's got a warmer climate because we're from Indiana and it's super cold about spring break time and we want somewhere warm. So what do we look at? We're looking for the climate. Yes, we're looking for what the weather's going to be, but we're looking at the climate overall. That's what we're thinking about. So a lot of people go to Florida or Alabama or someplace down by the equator because it's typically warmer at that time. That's the climate. It's a warmer area during that time. So if we go down here, average weather over many years in one specific place. So we can go look at the climate and see about what the weather had been in this area at this time. And if it's about 70 degrees every single year, it's probably going to be about 70 degrees this year. So it's a very good way to do long-term events that you're trying to figure out. So that is one way we use climate. We also, if something it starts snowing randomly in Florida during the spring break time, that's something that we need to know because something's going on with the climate. Is it changing or what's going on? So that is the difference between weather and climate. And we also learned about what a meteorologist is and a weather forecast.